Everyone keeps telling us to register to vote, but what happens when you've registered and are ready to participate in this good old democracy, but can't? Today's baggage, voter suppression. Voter suppression is real, and it really affects people of color. It's a set of tactics used to block voters from exercising their right to vote. There's this great myth that tons of Americans are out here committing acts of voter fraud. TBH, it's become a bit of an obsession.
Voter fraud.
Voter fraud.
Voter fraud is all too common.
Today, voter suppression can come in the form of voter ID laws, voting place closures, and robocalls that intentionally misinform voters. And it's all racist AF. Beyond the recent shenanigans, there's a long history of voter suppression in the United States. Black men were allowed to vote after the Civil War thanks to the 15th Amendment, which was ratified in 1870. It said that men couldn't be denied their vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Right. Like, America was gonna let black folks vote that easily. Enter Jim Crow laws. Aside from the physical threats black folks faced while trying to get to the polls, black folks were also forced to take literacy tests and pay poll taxes. Legally sanctioned discrimination continued way up until the 1960s. And only after marches, protests, and loss of life, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was passed. This meant that barriers that legally disenfranchised black voters and never should have been passed in the first place went bye-bye. Well, actually, not really.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
In 2008, Americans elected Barack Obama. The Obama campaign brought out 15 million new voters to the polls. But in the aftermath of this tremendous victory, voting rights of Americans began to whittle away. In 2013, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. In the landmark case Shelby County v. Holder, the court upheld that there was no need for federal oversight over elections. Jurisdictions want to pass a new election or voting law on the state level? Cool, you got it. And now we're seeing the effects of the case play out before our eyes. Before 2006, pre-Obama, none of the 50 states required voters to provide ID to vote. Today, 34 states request or require that you have some sort of ID. And here's how it actually affects black folks. 13% of black folks don't have photo ID. This is the case for 10% of Latinos, but only 5% of white folks. And adults with annual incomes under $25,000 are less likely to have ID. In 2017, 9 million African Americans fell below the poverty line, making less than $24,860 for a family of four. Now, imagine if you're poor and black. Voter purging, a process where states literally unregister voters, is also on the rise. Let's say you're at the polls on election day ready to vote. Then you find out your name is nowhere to be found when you know you registered to vote. Baby, you've been purged. States unregistered almost 4 million more voters between 2014 to 2016 than they did between 2006 and 2008. We're talking an increase of 33%. States are also passing voter ID laws like crazy. The historically racist state of Georgia passed exact match in 2017. As the name of the law suggests, the name on your ID must exactly match your name as printed on your voter registration. No variations, no misspellings. And if your ID doesn't make that exact match, then your application will be put on hold. And guess what? Georgia's voting for a new governor, and the choices are between Stacey Abrams, the first black woman to be nominated by a major party in any state, and Brian Kemp, Georgia's Secretary of State. Why is it a big deal? Because Brian Kemp is also in charge of elections for the state of Georgia. As of October 2018, about 53,000 voter registration applications have been put on hold in Georgia, and surprise, surprise, most of the applicants are black. Voter ID laws affect Native Americans too. In North Dakota, there was a law passed in 2017 requiring voters to provide an ID with a residential address to vote. Native Americans are the state's largest minority group, and those who live on reservations don't have ID with residential addresses, rather a P.O. box.
Every time voter fraud occurs, it cancels out the vote of a lawful citizen and undermines democracy. Can't let that happen.
It seems like there's this obsession, this ongoing myth that folks are out here casting fake votes. You think that Joanne's out here scamming her way to the White House. Here's the thing, it's not happening. In fact, a comprehensive study from 2000 to 2014 found that out of 1 billion votes cast in the United States, only 31 votes were fraudulent. We're talking 31 cases of fraud throughout the general, primary, special, and municipal elections in over a decade's time. You've got to be kidding me. Y'all, voter suppression is just one way Black folks are kept from participating in our democracy. But we can't be deterred. Our votes matter too much.